Pro-reform rallies are continuing in key parts of the capital, Manama, calling for the monarchy to bring greater political freedoms. Yemen's opposition has rejected a call to join a unity government. That's despite reports President Ali Abdullah Saleh is prepared to give the opposition ministerial posts. Hashim Halbara reports from Sana'a.
Rehearsing for the big day, anti-government protesters outside Sana'a University. A huge rally is expected Tuesday, and for the first time, the opposition plans to join pro-democracy demonstrators in what they are calling a day of fury. This square just off the university campus has been the epicenter for demonstrations against the government. From there, organizers plan to march through the streets of the capital. Despite pledges by President Ali Abdullah Saleh to enact democratic reforms, these young people are saying that they have made up their mind, that they have crossed the point of no return, and that they will continue their fight to bring down the government and the political elite in Yemen.
Please, 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 please leave our country before it's coming too late. Please leave our country, leave our country. We don't need anymore. If you love us, please leave us.
But Saleh isn't willing to leave. In this gathering with his ruling party, he made it clear that he won't let the street overthrow what he insists is a democratically elected government. In a thinly veiled warning aimed at stemming the rise of defections among loyalists, he told his party that if he should fall, they would be next.
Ben Ali is gone, but is it calm now in Tunisia? Is it over? They want to get rid of the leadership, the inner circle and all the chain of command. They got rid of the first-tier leadership in Egypt. Now they want to get rid of the rest. I'm telling you, you have to be careful.
But warnings like these have not been enough to keep some of his most staunch supporters from losing faith. 11 members of the ruling party have already joined anti-government forces, along with one of the most senior tribal figures in Yemen. Saleh cautioned that his security forces were given strict orders to act in self-defense. Threats are likely to dissuade the demonstrators from massing on this square for what they hope will be a turning point in their fight for democratic changes. Hashim Al-Barra, AlJazeera, Sana'a.
Back to the events now in Libya. Mohamed Bouguegues is chairman of the American Libyan Freedom Alliance, an advocacy group in Washington, D.C. He joins me live from there now. Mr. Bouguegues, thanks for your time. Is Colonel Gaddafi now preparing to fight down to the last bullet, as his son put it last week? Because if we look at the situation right now, he's under tremendous pressure from all sides, but he believes that he's under no pressure at all. He believes that there are no demonstrations against him anywhere in Libya.
Well, he's been, I don't know where he's living, but he's not on the same planet that we are. He is delusional, and he doesn't see the realities that have looking him in the eye. And so I'm not surprised that's what he says. But I believe that the man, he will fight to the very last moment. And what worries me is actually that he's in possession of biological and chemical weapons, that he will not hesitate in using them. And that will be a tragedy. And that's why we urge the international community to act and to take these chemicals and these weapons out of his reach.
What do you make of the fact that the former interior minister and the head of the country's special forces has now defected? He's now joined the opposition. He says he has access to men, he has access to guns, he has access to aeroplanes, he has access to tanks, and that he will launch an offensive on Tripoli. What do you make of that?
Well, I have to see it to believe it. And you hear all kinds of statements. But I'm not really sure that he has all these capabilities. I hope he does. And if he does, why doesn't he launch an attack on Gaddafi's compound at Bab al-Aziziyah? He should do it without hesitation. And because the longer the man stays holed up in Bab al-Aziziyah, the more victims will fall and the more dangers we will face. he should be taken out. I believe the sooner the better.
Now, so far, we've seen a number of diplomatic steps being taken against Colonel Gaddafi. We've seen that he's been suspended from the UN Human Rights Council. That resolution that was passed on Saturday night at the UN Security Council freezes his assets, imposes a travel ban on him and members of his family. But is that going to do it, or what else is needed? Do you think Western nations should now go ahead and try and impose some kind of a flight ban over the country?
I believe that all of these measures, they're very good, actually. We appreciated the international community's fast action, and it was unanimous, which is unusual for the Security Council and the United Nations to adopt these decisions so fast. But all of these decisions, they mean nothing. As far as Gaddafi is concerned, they are meaningless. I believe that what needed to be done is actually a no-fly zone over Libya, at least the airports where his important mercenaries and his important heavy weaponry. And I think that should be done. And also strategic strikes against weapons deposits and camps that are scattered all over Libya. I think that would be very helpful.
Okay, so we're going to have to leave it there for now. Thank you for joining us. Police in the Democratic Republic of Congo have arrested more than 30 people after a suspected coup. The government said up to 60 armed men attacked the president's house on Sunday, killing 7 people. Leader Joseph Kabila wasn't at home and was unhurt. Fighting spread to a nearby army base before the Republican Guard put down the attack. Hundreds of women in Côte d'Ivoire's capital, Abidjan, have been rallying against President Laurent Gbagbo's rule and the ongoing violence in the country. Street battles in Abidjan and in the west of the country have left dozens of people dead. At least 10 people have been killed in Sudan after clashes broke out in the disputed oil-rich region of Abyei. Abyei's chief administrator is a member of the Dinka Ngok tribe, allied to the south. He accused Arab Miseria nomads of attacking a Dinka settlement, but a Miseria spokesman accused the South Sudanese army of starting the fighting. Kyrgyzstan is facing another spring of discontent as its new government struggles to get a grip on the economy. Food prices are soaring, unemployment is rampant, and the country is at risk of defaulting on its debt. Robin Forestier-Walker reports.
Poverty flourishes in the shadow of these mountains. The ramshackle town of AlJazeera, population 15,000, the houses were built illegally on private land by rural poor seeking opportunity, just outside the capital Bishkek. The Doronov family has no running water, no electricity, and no local school to educate the children. Times are hard. Food price inflation is the highest in the region, up as much as 40% from this time a year ago.
After the revolution in April last year, it looked as if the fortunes of the people in this town had changed because suddenly electricity pylons began to appear. But after the elections and the formation of the new coalition government, the work ceased. And the people here remain cut off, not just from the grid, but from the wider society.